So a common question that comes up time and time again when we start working with restaurant bar owners is how can we increase the amount of money that's being spent in the restaurant by each customer? So how can we increase the overall bill spend? This is particularly a concern when we're talking about running offers, because there is often a concern that when we run an offer, it's going to decrease the amount of money that restaurants can make. This issue or this concern has been kind of perpetuated by companies like Groupon, for a number of reasons. One, because when people come through something like Groupon, is they're only coming into the restaurant once in a lot of cases. There's often no mechanism to get them to repeat visit, so that drives the lifetime value of every customer down quite significantly. And it really relies on the restaurant itself, once the customers come in and visit, to get them onto their database, but also encourage them to come back again, as well as spend more money. So it's it's down to the restaurant to upsell them on extra dishes, upsell them on extra drinks, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of restaurants have trouble with that. They struggle with it. So what we've got is a system which enables us to not only get repeat visits to the restaurant, so increase the lifetime value of all the customers that come through for an offer, but also focus on directly increasing the bill spend by finding people in the area that are more likely to spend more money. And I'm just going to talk through exactly how we do that and how that works, because it is a question that we get a lot and it's kind of confusing. But I think, I've created this little document here, which hopefully will make it a little bit easier for everyone to understand how we can actually do that, how you can actually increase the bill spend. And this is a tactic that you can absolutely use on your own. And it's a tactic that we use in all of our campaigns as well. So how we start with an ad for an offer, and that's going to be published on social media, Facebook or Instagram traditionally. And that offer ad is actually going to direct people to subscribe to our messenger channel. That's a very important thing. We're not just telling people that there's an offer and they can come in. We're actually telling them to subscribe to our messenger channel so that they can claim the voucher, so that they can come into the restaurant and redeem it. So we run an ad, they click through to Messenger. As soon as they click through to Messenger, they've become a Messenger subscriber. So they've been added to our Messenger database. That means that we can message them reminders, we can message them about future promotions, we can do all sorts of things completely for free to get them back into the restaurant multiple times, or to remind them to come in if they've not come in already. We don't have to go back and use more Facebook ads to tempt those same people back in. And that's a really important factor to firstly lowering the cost of the conversion for every person. Because if we have to keep using ads to remind them, to target them again, to get them to repeat visit, then that's going to generate much higher costs, and it's going to eat into our profits basically. So we add them to our database. Once they've added into the database, they're going to get reminders to come in. They might not need a reminder, they might come in within a week or so, and they're going to visit the restaurant. And a really important part of when they visit the restaurant is part of the automation that we have in Messenger actually tracks how much they spend on their bill. And it's really, really important. I've talked about this before, tracking the amount of money that you're making from every customer that comes through these ads, because you know how much you're spending, but if you don't know how much you're making, how are you ever going to know how much to spend, whether or not to increase the amount you spend, whether you need to improve the ads that you're running because you're not making enough money? You're never going to really know, and you're kind of just throwing money into a hole effectively and just hoping that something works. And that's not a very good way to run ads. We need to be tracking the spend. Now, there's a number of ways you can do that. As I said before, we do that through Facebook Messenger. Now, once they've come into the restaurant and they've spent money, we've now got a pretty good set of data on this person. So we know their name, we know their email, we know how much it cost them, how much it cost us to get them into our database. We also know how much money they've spent. Now, what that's going to give us is a big list of all the people that visit the restaurant through our ads, and we're going to know all the different amounts that all of these people have spent. Now, what we can then do is we can take the list of the top spenders. We know that some people are going to come into the restaurant and they're going to be cheapskates, right? They're going to just come in, they're going to take the deal that you've offered them, and they're going to ask for tap water, right? And it doesn't matter how much you try and upsell them, they're not going to be interested. They want the cheapest meal at the cheapest price, and they're going to leave, and they're probably not going to necessarily come back again unless you serve them another really, really low cost offer. They're the kind of people that we want to discourage from coming to the restaurant, really. You're also, on the flip side, you're going to get people that see the offer, they come into the restaurant, they bring their friends, they order loads of extra dishes, they order dessert, they order lots of other things like drinks, cocktails, all that good stuff. I.e. they are really the perfect client, the top spenders in the list. So you're going to take that list of top spenders, and what we can actually do is we can upload their email address to Facebook, and Facebook will cross-check those people, or can cross-check those people, into what's called a lookalike audience. Now, a lookalike audience takes a set of people with Facebook accounts, and it goes away and looks for people really, really similar to that, with similar spending habits, similar interests, similar demographics, maybe similar jobs, and creates a much bigger audience. So you could have, say, a list of your 100 top spenders that have come into your restaurant. You upload that to Facebook, and Facebook will find 500,000 people that are 99% the same as all the people you've just uploaded. So now we've got a list in Facebook, an audience in Facebook of people that we know are much, much, much more likely not only to claim the offer, because we know this list of people have done that, but they're much more likely to come into the restaurant and spend more money. So by taking this lookalike audience, we then plug that back into the original ad. So this is a bunch of new people that are similar to our favourite customers. We plug that into the ad, and we run the same process again. So they come through the offer ad, we add them to the database, they come into the restaurant. This time they're going to spend more money because they're much similar to our top spenders. Of course, then when they spend more money, we increase the average bill spend, that goes up, and then we can run this process around as many times as we like. And as we consistently run this round, the bill spend will slowly increase, and the offers that you're running are going to be running to people that are going to be much, much more likely to be your favourite customers, and basically going to drive your restaurant more profit, which is going to increase exponentially over time. That's all I've got for now. If you've got any questions, as always, give us a shout. Happy to answer them. But hopefully that's given you some ideas, some information on how you can actually increase bill spend and how you can drive higher profits in your restaurant